Welcome everyone to Midwest Tree ID. On this channel, it is my mission to help you learn an abundance of trees that grow right here in the Midwest, and some key features on how to identify them. There's just one thing to clarify before we begin. We're not going to be throwing hatred or ridiculing any of the species that we're going to be talking about. But we do, however, want to encourage thoughtful conversation in the comments about personal experiences and things like that. Please try to remember that everything has value and that we are here to enjoy nature and everything it has to offer. So without anything else, let's jump right in. Hey guys, welcome back. We are here at the U of I, the University of Illinois today, and we are talking about Pinus nigra, the Austrian pine, probably among one of my favorite pines, despite the fact that it is no longer a common used plant to find in the landscape due to an abundance of diseases that it's very susceptible to. But that doesn't mean you still can't find some really cool specimens of Austrian pine, much like the one that's behind me. And so the Austrian pine is going to have very, very stiff needles, much like our red pine, ponderosa pine, Scotch pine, and a few others. And these needles are going to be about, you can kind of see, these are typically going to max out between 6 and 8 inches long. And that's going to vary depending on the specimen that you're looking at. These are going to be a real kind of waxy green, and they appear in, I just dropped that one, but appear in bunches of 2. And you can see there's a little bit of what looks like might be some kind of scale of some kind. I'm not real sure. But again, that's just another common thing that you can find on the Austrian pines. The stems, the branches on Austrian pine are going to be very, very stiff, and so they're not quite as wispy in the wind as some of our other pines like the white pine or the limber pine. And then our cones, which are going to be a little bit smaller, but a little bit very, very stiff, much lighter brown than some of our other stiff-needled pines. Typically about, I would say this one here is probably about 1 inch to 2 inches long or so, and about 1 inch wide at the base. And that's going to be pretty typical for Austrian pines. And again, Austrian pines can have some variations in its cone sizes and its needle sizes. And now we'll go ahead and take a look at the bark and the habit. Okay, so looking at the bark, you can see how most of the bark is kind of got this speckled white and even a light gray color to it, and it's very wavy, almost kind of smooth and a little bit platy, and that's pretty well consistent, especially on more mature and older specimens, how the bark kind of looks speckled and textured like that. And now we'll take a look at the habit on these really unique pines. So this is another one of our pines that's going to be fairly flat topped with maturity. They maintain a pyramidal shape through a lot of their younger age, but once they get to a fairly decent age, they will be kind of flat topped, very picturesque. And many of them, especially some of the old specimens, are very broad and, and oftentimes reaching heights of 60, maybe even 70 feet in height, and a good spread of about 30 feet at the base. So the Austrian pine is going to be native to areas of Europe, like Austria, of course, as you may have gathered from the name, parts of Italy and Yugoslavia and Greece. It is not obviously native here to the States, although it can still be a very, very nice specimen to find in the landscape, and was once a very abundant species to find in the landscape, and still is pretty common to find. It's just starting to, we're starting to see a lot of them die. Illinois State University recently had to cut down a specimen that was, I think, 117 years old. That was a real shame to see that one go. But they're still a beautiful specimen to find, and something to cherish when you find one. So thanks for joining me for the Austrian pine. I'm going to post some pictures of some of my favorite specimens that I've seen over the years in the aftermath of the video. So thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time.